This next vendor was an old drag racer with a very interesting story to tell. Well, I'm out here in the vendors area at the York Muscle Car Get-Together here in 2005, and I ran into cool Richie Travers. And Richie, you are and have the distinction of being one of those few people that ever did the wheel standing routine back in the day with two different vehicles here. The Dodge Fever and the Dodge Material wheel standing vehicles. Welcome to the show, Richie.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Jim.
We've been talking a little bit about the days, and of course you come out with a display of some of your pictures and videos and things like that. And you're reliving those days back in, I guess it was the 1970s when you were doing this, huh?
Late 60s, early 70s.
Wow.
That's correct, yeah.
What did it really take to become certified to run a wheel stand vehicle back in the 1970s?
Well, in the early days of wheel standing, basically it didn't take anything, but after a few unfortunate accidents with wheel standers, the NHRA decided you had to have a license, and your vehicle had to be licensed. And in between the time that I drove Dodge Fever and Dodge Material, they started a licensing program. So I wasn't grandfathered in as the previous wheel standers were, like Bill Golden and Shrewsbury and Bill Shrewsbury and Bill and Hemi on the Glass and the rest of them.
Right.
So what happened was I was out of it for about a year or so. I went racing a gasser, and then came back and decided to build another wheel stand of Dodge Material. And so in order to get my license on that, I had to go to a track in New York. US 30 was the track I did go to for my initial single pass wheel standing run.
Yeah.
And I had to get the track manager to sign off on it, which he did after he saw the run. And then in order to get my side-by-side competition, I had Fran Monahan, who was running Jiminy Cricket and his new truck at the time, the Fran Monahan truck. Signed off a few weeks later on a side-by-side competition down in Maple Grove.
How about
and
that?
And then we flew for the next couple of years. As I was here at the first Superstock National '65, and I remember that Bill Shrewsbury, who ran the Hemi on the Glass first, did about a 200 or 300 foot wheel stand in the first gear, and I dropped my camera, and everybody was astounded. And it went a few hundred feet.
Yeah.
And it was, it was unbelievable. I said, boy, that's something else. And then, of course, we did quarter mile stuff. Of course, that was, people used to go crazy.
You even took it to, you were telling me before about out at Three River Stadium in Pittsburgh, and you ran it on the baseball stadium.
That's
huh?
correct. Three Rivers Stadium, Pittsburgh Promotions at the time, wanted to put together a wheel standing show at the baseball park.
How about that?
And that was quite a deal. We ran from home plate to the center field bleachers. In fact, I had the guy announce one that cool Richie was going to drive one into the bleachers.
Into the bleachers. That's cool.
It was pretty good, because what they had a whole bunch of haystacks piled up at the back, and they only had this one exit. And if one guy beat the other guy, he had to turn left in front of him to get down the exit.
Yeah.
And so you could only do a quick, just a short wheel stand and right down.
That's cool.
Yeah.
They're so dangerous. You're on two wheels. It's not like you just step on the brakes. You got to get it down and stop it. Did you ever have any incidents with it that worked out to be dangerous for you?
Yes, there was. Right in Three River Stadium, they had put up railroad ties to kind of separate you from going onto the grass and messing up the turf. So when I ran at Three River Stadium, I did come up kind of stiff, and it kind of twisted to the left when I came down. It hit the rear wheel and snapped off the axle, and it wound up spinning around and almost going into the crowd. Luckily,
wow.
Nothing happened to the people, but
that's exciting.
Kind of spread them around. Yeah.
Well, Richie, we want to thank you for coming out to our muscle car get-together here at York US 30 and sharing a special part of history with us, because those wheel standers put on a show like I just couldn't believe back in those days, and it was a special bunch of people that would want to do that, because buddy, you wouldn't get me doing it.
Thanks a lot, Jim. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no doubt.